I just want to thank everyone, all the kids who are turning in their work. I'm very happy to see all that work. Remember, I'm trying to teach you new materials, especially in sound spelling, the sound spelling cards and sight words. I'm trying to add other materials too. You might notice that I've been putting some songs and for singing and dancing, just so that we can make sure we get up and move and exercise. Because I know we might, since we're staying at home more, we might not be as active. Um, anyway, but for today we are going to learn four new high frequency words, and so I'm going to turn the camera off and show you the screen now. Um, so we have one, two, three, four words. The first one right here. I want you to take a look at it, see if you think you know what it says. Okay, if you said walk, then you're right. Okay, let's see. In a sentence, you could say, when I need to leave the house and exercise, I go outside and walk. Okay, now this one, does it follow the rules? Let's see. Alk, walk. Nope, doesn't follow the rules. When I say ah, I am using the octopus card. Okay, the O. Okay, and just to make sure, it's always a good idea to to have our sound spelling cards out to make sure. Ah, 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 octopus. There it is. Ah, octopus. But we spell it with an O when you use the octopus card, but here it's spelled with an A. That should say walk, but we don't say I'm going to walk outside for exercise. You say walk. Now, one thing you may notice, and I'm gonna type it. Walk rhymes. Oops, it's capitalizing. Sorry. Let's see. Walk, talk. Okay, those two words. Rhyme. Are there other words? Like a long time ago, teachers used to use chalk. We used to use chalk to write on the boards. It was like this white powdery thing. You guys still use it when you use chalk to draw on the floor, on the ground with colorful chalk, right? So just keep in mind, walk, talk, chalk. They rhyme because they have the same ending sound and they're spelled the same, and they all don't follow the rules, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and erase talk and chalk. Okay, now how do we spell walk? Let's spell it. And W-A-L-K. Okay, now finger spell it with your fingers. Pretend you're touching the screen and spell W-A-L-K. Now, write it on your forearm, right? W-A-L-K. Excuse me, walk. Okay, so I'm using them in sentences. If you like my sentences, just try to remember them, and then you can use that when you write your sentences for all of the sight words. Okay, let's go to the next one and take a look at it. Do you think you know what it says? And did you say bye? Okay, if you said bye, you're right. Now there's a U there, so it should say something like buyui, right? No, it's one syllable, so it would be I, buy, fly, try, buy, buyui. But we don't say buyui, it's just buy. Okay, now which buy? You might say, Mr. Pule, which one? Like, I'm gonna walk by my friend, or I'm walking by those strangers. Let's walk by them and move away quickly. Or you can, which means by next to them. I'm walking by them. Now this has a U. That means it's a verb. That means you're buying something. Like in a sentence, it would be, I go to the toy store to buy a toy. Okay, now the other buy, excuse me, I'm gonna type it. By means next to. Like I am by like right here, I'm in my office and I'm by the door. So I'm next to the door, but we're not using that buy. It's the one that you buy things at a store. Okay, and how do you spell buy? This buy is spelled B-U-Y, buy. Okay, now finger spell it, B-U-Y. Okay, now on your forearm, B-U-Y, buy. Okay, next word right here, and I guess let me zoom in, make it nice and big. Okay, and I hope that you remember how I showed you uh, how to make the YouTube screens bigger. Okay, I did post an activity on Class Dojo. It doesn't have a number. If you're not sure that you saw it, you can look for it. Maybe you can ask your parents to help you look for it. It says something like how to look at my YouTube's bigger and better. Okay. Anyway, but that's why I'm going like this to make it nice and big for you, right? It's also kind of fun to do that, right? Sorry, I hope I'm not making you dizzy. Okay, so next, I'll zoom in, like since we're focusing on this word. Okay, did you say only? If you said only, you're correct. Now, does it follow the rules? Let me try. Let me use the sound spelling card rules. Only. Only. Doesn't sound right. Like if I read it in a sentence, if it said, I only want milk. Only I only want milk. So that's how you can check to see if you're saying it right. If you know it sounds wrong, then try to change the sound. And in this case, only becomes only. It doesn't follow the rule. Remember the rule when there's a vowel followed by a consonant, the vowel is short. But here it doesn't work. You have to say only, long O. Okay? And actually, only. Yeah, it doesn't follow the rules. So, only. Only means like only one, the only thing by itself. Okay? You can say the only person here is me. Okay, I'm all by myself. Or you can say I only want one cookie, please. Okay, now let's finger spell it and go. Only. Actually, in the classroom, I remember I used to say, let's spell it. How do you spell it? Only. Then I would say, let's finger spell it in the air. Pretend you're touching the screen, right? And go. Only. Only. Now on your forearm. Only. Only. Okay, now let's go to our next word. Let me make it nice and big. Sorry, being a little silly, but might as well use all the features, right? Make it more interesting here. Put it right in the middle. Bigger, bigger. Okay, so what do you think? Wow, so big. I need to step back a bit. Okay. What would you say? Now for this one, let's practice. Pretend you're reading this word in a sentence, and I'm gonna pretend I'm reading. Well, I'm gonna pretend I'm reading a book, and it says this. Okay, let's see. The basketball went let me see. Traog the hoop. The basketball went through the hoop. Wait, through? Through the hoop? Let me see. The basketball went through the hoop. Very good. Okay, very good for myself. I figured it out. It says through. Okay, the beginning does work. But then the rest doesn't. So that's why it's important that you memorize them. Again, it looks like all these 4 words today don't follow the rules. You have to memorize them. And that's why I'm here to memorize it. And also, remember, you should also be reading books in Kids A to Z. Okay, I need to see more kids reading, because when you read those stories, if you can't figure out the sight word, when you go back to listen to the story, you're gonna know how to say it. And then when you go back to reread the story, then you're gonna say, oh, that word said through, and now I know how to read it. The ball went through the hoop. So, very important. It's in our lessons here, my lesson here, and also when you read your stories in Kids A to Z. Very important, so you can practice your reading skills, your reading fluency. If you read it more than once, you practice your reading fluency, which means that you'll read the sight words faster, which means you're reading it fluently. Okay, but these you memorize. The other words, you will sound them out. Okay, so I used it in a sentence, right? The basketball went through the hoop. Okay, and we can tell that this word is a big word. Okay, so how do we spell it? And go. THROUGH. G H. Through. Okay, now la finger spell it in the air. T H R O U G H. Okay, and you know what? Since this is a tricky word, I also thought of another sentence. Maybe you'll like it for your class dojo assignment. Okay, I scooped up some water and it went through my fingers, right? Because you can't hold the water in your hands. It goes through your fingers. It passes your fingers and it drips down onto the floor. Okay, so the water went through my fingers. Okay. Um, Also air, like if someone's blowing air on a fan, you put your hand in front of the fan, you say, oh, the air is blowing through my fingers. Or actually the correct way is between your fingers. So also the water going between my fingers. Okay, so maybe that doesn't work because it's not really going like through your skin and like through your skin that way. So the better one, but you know what I mean. And also it works with the basketball going through the hoop. Okay, let's see. Now let's take a look at our sentences. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in here and take a look. We'll read it together and go. I walk to the blank. Okay, so for this, just choose something. Where do you walk to? For example, you could say, I walk to the store. I walk to the shoe store. So we'll use adjectives. I walk to the toy store. I walk to the park. Okay, and you can, don't forget to use adjectives. We've studied adjectives, right? We've studied nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So you can say, I walk to the big park, or I walk to the fun park. Okay, next, and go. At the supermarket, I buy blank. Okay, notice that supermarket, it's a compound word, two words put together that make one word. If I break it up here, you see, maybe you'll sound this part out, market. And this one, oh look, you blanky says you or oo, supermarket. So you put it together, you say supermarket. So at the supermarket, I buy blank. Okay, so you can pick something that you buy at the supermarket. At the supermarket, I buy milk. At the supermarket, I buy, what can you say? Bananas. You choose. Okay. Okay, our next one, number 3. And go. I only want blank for my birthday gift. Okay, so let's see. Pick something that you only want, the only thing that you want. So you can say, I only want, what can I say? I only want an Apple Watch for my birthday gift. Or I only want, you can be silly. You can say, I only want a horse for my birthday gift, right? So it's okay to be a little silly. Okay, I don't mind. And finally, let's read this one. And the blank went through the blank. So for this one, it's a little tricky, but I think you can make something up. You could say, for example, how about this? The bird went through the bushes, right? It goes through the bushes and out the other end. So you could still be creative and you could use the ones I did, right? Like the water went through my fingers or the wind went through my fingers. Although some people say it went between my fingers, but for now, just so we can practice, we can use it that way. Okay? So again, let's go over the words. We have walk, by, only, through. And then our sentences. Hold on. I just realized something. I could have made it bigger. There we go. Yeah, you see how I can adjust it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right here. And again, your assignment always will be with the sight words is I want you to copy the sentence and fill in the blank like I did before. And I gave you some examples. If you remember them, then you can just write the word. And remember, when you're spelling words, remember, sound it out. Okay, for example, if you want to spell park, you will count the sounds. P, R. Oh, we know that's the car. R. park. Okay, I walk to the park. Okay, now if you're trying to spell a word that has more than one syllable, like let's say you say I walk to the, what can you say that's two syllables? What if I use that same word, the supermarket, right? So I walk to the supermarket. You would say supermarket. Wow, that has four syllables. Su, per. Count the sounds in per. Pa, super, mar, R. That's AR, right? If I look at the sound spelling card, I know that that's the car card. And here it is. Now, oops, too tiny. Let me go back. And then supermarket. K, e, t. So I gave you a quick review of how I taught you in the class how to sound out words and how to sound out words that have more than one syllable. Okay, and so again, copy the sentence, fill in the blank. Okay, in your journal, and then take a picture and send it to me. Okay, make sure that you copy the sentence and you put a word in the blank. Some students are just copying the words, either the sight words, the spelling words, and they just copy it and then they send me that. That's incomplete. And it's also not following directions. I say use the words in sentences. For your sight words, I'm giving you the sentence. For your spelling words, I tell you to make a sentence. Sometimes I leave other sentences as examples, and I say that you can copy it if you're having a hard time coming up with the sentence. But for today, copy this and fill in the blank. Okay? Also, one thing, you could, since I'm showing you the sound spelling cards right now, let me see. Uh-oh. No, that doesn't look good. Sorry, I need to fix something. Okay. I made some changes. I don't like the way that looks. But anyway, here are the sound spelling cards. So if you need to look at them, what you can do is pause my YouTube video. Like if you pause it now, I'm pretending you paused me, right? You have the sound spelling cards. You could take a look at it, okay? And if you need to check a spelling, you can go and look at it. I don't know if it's possible, but on a YouTube video, I don't know if maybe on an iPad, you know how you put two fingers and then you open your finger, you can zoom in. I don't know if you can do that with the YouTube video. But if not, then at least you can see the sound spelling cards. Try to take a look. Just an idea, okay? But then you're gonna have to go to the part where I'm showing you the spelling words, okay? So just an idea. So thank you again for all your work, and I'll see you on Class Dojo.